If you want to learn how to paint your straight jungle tarmac tile, you're in the right place. My name's Frank Durio. You're watching DioramaWorkshop.com. Okay, we're doing the Tarmac Jungle divider. You're going to grab your template. We're going to install it in the grooves. And we have to do our markings. That's the first thing we have to do. So you're going to make a notch here. Take this off. Bring it to the opposite side. This is where the notch was, so you want to use this arrow here. Put a notch. Remove this. Grab a ruler. And you're going to draw a straight line. With your pencil. The weight of your pencil creates a dent. For this tile, you'll be painting tarmac on the wide part and jungle on the narrow part. So what you want to do is we want to start with the bases, which is your dark color. So for the jungle, we have hunter green and Christmas green that I'm using. You could use different colors, it doesn't matter, as long as you have a dark green and a lighter shade of green. So we start with the dark green. Shake this. And then just put a little bit of paint. You don't want to waste it, and it dries fast. So just a small amount like that is all you need. Now you're going to grab one of your sponges. Like this. You want to use the yellow side, okay? And you just dab it in the dark green paint. And what you want to do is you want to cover the surface with 2 coats. So what you do is a technique that I call the plop 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 streak. So what you want to do is you go plop 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 plop, and then you streak it like this. So what the plops do is it puts the paint onto the EVA foam, and then the streaking after spreads it evenly. So now you want to take some of this again. Now here's your line. For this, you want to try to keep a straight line, if you can, as close as you can to the line, because the next person who builds their tile similar to yours, when you connect them, these 2 areas have to match. So that's why you don't want your line to go here, because then it won't connect with the next person's tile. So I'm out of paint. A little bit more. A little squeeze. Don't squeeze the whole bottle. Keep some for the next person because it's going to dry out. Here we go again. Some more paint. Here we go. Plop, 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 plop. Streak. Like this. Okay. Then again for the top, plop, 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 plop for layer 2, and then streak. You don't need to press too hard, because then you'll be absorbing all the paint into the sponge and you'll be wiping off what you put in the beginning. You just want to make it so that it's a bit more greener, and you want to keep these 2 tones here that you get from the underneath of the dark gray color. So this is done. This is the base for our green jungle. Now we want to do the tarmac part. The tarmac part is black. So you're going to start with your yellow side, dip it into your black, okay? Now what you want to do, try to follow this line as closely as you can. This is your connecting line, like this, okay? Plop, 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 plop. Spread. Like this. Don't forget the edges, because this actually connects with the next person's tile. So when you plop and when you spread, you want to include these edges here, like that. You want to remember to put paint just like you did on this side, over here. So we're out of black. I'm going to put a little bit more black. Shake the bottle. Always shake before you pour some new paint in. Just a little bit, just enough for us to do the job. Plop, 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 plop. Stretch. See how it spreads the paint evenly after you plop it? If you want, you can even spin this around. You can grab the corners here to avoid it from moving. If you get paint on your fingers, obviously the paint comes off with water. It's acrylic paint. Plop, plop, plop. And then spread. And there's our bases. Now this line is a little bit off, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it to be perfect, you could always go back, try to make it closer to the line. And there we go. This is your base. So the green is on the skinny part, and the black is on the thicker section of your tile. So let's put the lid on the black paint here. Now we're going to go to the texturing. This is the fun part. So for the jungle, since we started with that, we are now moving to the light color of the green. And what I will do with this is I will shake my green bottle, put some paint on my lid or on a plate. Okay, and now you want to grab your 2 pieces of sponge. You're going to texture with this rough green side, and you're going to stamp with this yellow side for the jungle. Now let me explain how that works. So you're going to take your rough side and you're going to put some paint on it. Now that's too much paint, it's going to make a big blob. So what you want to do is dab on the side of where you have the paint so that you're removing some of the excess, so that when you press down, do you see that? Let me zoom in. You get 2 tones, like this. Now what you don't want to do is just go tick, 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 tick like we did before, because then you're going to repeat the same pattern. It's going to look copy-paste. So what you want to do is, as you press down, you want to rotate your sponge so that you get different texture throughout the surface. So as you apply, you spin. Now don't cover the whole surface, because you want to let the paint stay a little wet for the next technique. So once it's applied like this, you're going to take your other sponge with this yellow side, and what you're going to do is you're going to pound up and down like this onto your surface. So what that is going to do is, one, it's going to accelerate the drying, and two, it's going to blend the colors together. So you just pound like this. And see how the colors start changing a little bit and blend together? Just lightly pound. Don't pound and move your hand like this. You just want to pound up and down, as so. If you get some on the tarmac, that's fine. It'll add more natural look. Now, do you see how the two-tone effect gives it a more aerial jungle look than the one color? So now we're going to dip your paint again, more paint, then dab it on the side to get some of the excess off, and then again rotate as you place your sponge texture. Try not to rotate into this area. Try to keep it at least straight as you can for this part. When you're done, take your yellow sponge, pound it. If you want more, you can go back, add more light color. You see? Then you pound it. It's as simple as that. That's the only steps that you have to do. Now we move on to the black tarmac portion, or portion I should say. What you're going to do is the same principle. You're going to be using light gray paint this time. I'm using slate color. Shake it. Place it on your plate or your surface. You want to pour just a little bit. You don't want to put the whole bottle because this will dry really quickly and then you're going to be wasting a lot of paint. So just a little at a time, and you can always put some more as we go along. So for this texture, like we did for the jungle, you're going to be using the green side of your paint to put into the dark side. I mean the light paint. The light paint goes onto the dark side, or the dark base. And when you're doing the pounding, instead of pounding on this side, you're going to be pounding on the green side, which is more coarse and spiky, which will simulate more like a tarmac, gravel, asphalt kind of look, compared to the soft two-tone of the jungle, which is more foliage and thicker bush, right? So, same principle. You want to take your paint. This is too much. You want to take the paint. You want to dab it on the side, remove some of the excess, right? Then you're ready. Spin your brush, or spin your sponge, I should say. Do you see that? Let me zoom in. This is the effect you want. You want to create sort of like a sparkling two-tone effect. Then you're going to come in with your green side and you're going to stomp on it like this. Don't try to cover everything at the same time. Work in little sections. That's why you want to use a little piece or a little amount of paint. So dab, remove the excess, spin your sponge. Remember to put some on the outskirts as well. That's part of your build. Time to pound with the green side. And there we go. Your painting is complete. If you wanted to add more, you can. If you want to put some more black because you think you have too much gray, you can go and do the same technique in reverse. Just dab a little bit more black, then put a little bit more gray on it. When you're happy, that's what counts. So once this is complete, let it dry a little bit, and then move on to the next tutorial, which will be how to assemble your bushes and your trees for your jungle portion. Thanks for watching DioramaWorkshop.com. If you want more interactivity, you can follow us on these multimedia platforms. If you have a question about past or future Star Wars Celebration workshops, send me an email at dioramaworkshop.com@gmail.com. If you have a Facebook account, join the official Star Wars Celebration Diorama Builders fan club today. If you like the video, please subscribe, share, and tell your friends to come check us out. If you want to see even more Star Wars Celebration crew coverage, click on the link to warp to dioramaworkshop.com, the official Star Wars Celebration Diorama Builders website.